Hello and welcome all. My name is Eric, as you all know, um, and this would be the fourth installment in our Python series that I have going on. Um, and what I'm going to be introducing to you in this tutorial is while loops. Now, I think a lot of people um, who program are fluent in Python or pretty much any language would look at me and say, "Are you mad?" Because while loops are sort of sophisticated. And you really shouldn't be introduced to a while loop until later on. Well, anyway, that's the general consensus, I guess. I don't know. But to me, I think if I were introduced to this a lot earlier on in my programming career, which isn't as long as I think I may have just suggested, I think I would have thrived automatically. And yes, I did just snap my fingers because this thing is so cool. I'm about to introduce it to you. So, while loop. Now, I was talking about earlier how certain words are highlighted by a color, which means that they're in the reserved dictionary, if you will, of Python. And you'll find this in any language. There's going to be certain words that are highlighted. And if you, by the way, were noticing that you were saving projects and they weren't highlighted, such as words like print, while, raw input, that's because you need to save your files as file.py or insert file name here .py. Make sure the extension is .py because otherwise it will run as normal, but if you want to if you want to make sure that you're not misspelling any keywords or anything and everything's highlighted as it should be, then make sure you save as .py. But anyway, not talking about that. While loops. So Okay, so basically, it's actually pretty simple, and I think the way I explain it, like a complete noob, is gonna be it's gonna be sound for you folk because I'm somewhat of a noob at this kind of thing, somewhat, and you're a noob at this kind of thing, so I think we can talk to one another, and you'll understand what I'm saying. So while let's just say how about we should have a variable first, I think. So one is one. We have a variable which is one. We're going to say while 1 is less than 50, print 1, and each time this variable is ran, which will be as long as 1 is less than 50, we're going to add 1 to the variable 1, which is kind of confusing, but not really. If that's confusing to you, stop watching. Okay, so when we run this, that's what we're going to get. So this sort of gives you an idea of how fast the computer is. Right away, it gave you all those numbers. Didn't even hiccup. Right away, automatically. So we printed 1 right away. So we ran this, and it printed the variable 1. So we had a 1. So it went all the way through, and it added 1 as we wrote in the code. And then if you notice, it never prints to 50. And why is this? It's because it would go up. So it would have while 1 is less than 50. So right away we print 1, and then there's a 1. We add 1, so then it goes back up. And then we print 1 again, and 1 is now 2, and so on. But when we get to 49, it'll say while 1 is less than 50, print 1, 49, and then add 1 plus 1. So it'd be 49 plus 1 is 50. So then you print 1. There's no need for that because at the top it says it would say 50 is less than 50, which is incorrect. So that's where the loop sort of breaks right there. So as soon as it's not as soon as this part is no longer correct, the loop breaks. So if you notice down here, even though it hasn't printed specifically 50, we know that it's 50 because it didn't print 1. So as we can see, 50. Okay. So that's pretty much the premise of while loops. I'm going to probably get back to it in the next tutorial. Just a brief little synopsis, I guess, of how it works and how cool it is. You can try something like this. While 1 isn't equal to 0, print subscript subscribe. Now, this is an infinite loop. This will never end. But yeah, I don't know. Just to save some time, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you so much, and make sure you tune in next time and subscribe. Well, do what the program tells you. Thanks.